Bills fans, I bet you're in the pits. Emotional. Some of you crazy irrational. We're going to dig into it. I'll give you my biggest takeaways from the Texans and a big win over the Bills and that defense. We tried to set the scene for you. We tried to get it done. Kevin Durant is on the show. We've got a huge show to wrap up the week. Strong feelings about his friend Joe Burrow, about Michael Jordan, about setting picks and his picks for Week 12. Did I say that right? Setting picks? We'll talk about his career as a budding Walter Cronkite as well. Look out Shams, look out Stephen A, look out me. Legendary safety, a legend, somebody I get to work with next week. Again, Tyrann Mathieu joining us as well. He's part of the Madden Thanksgiving Night Altcast with me and Ocho Cinco. So very excited about that. And he knows these Chiefs. He knows He's defended them. He has said all is not lost. He has said that this Eagles thing is not a thing from last year into this year. How can we fix what might be broken in Kansas City? Thriller last night in Houston. Thriller, don't sue me. Michael Jackson's estate. This was the defining game for the Texans defense. I told you this was going to happen. This was on the table. And here it is. I set it up for you. This could be their You Mad Bro Legion of Boom up against Tom Brady game. This could be their no-fly zone holding Aaron Rodgers to 770 yards moment. And that's exactly what they did. Look at this. And these Reds, D'Amico Ryan's squad giving us 8 sacks. On the toughest man to sack in football. They hit Josh 12 times in all. They forced 3 turnovers, 12 quarterback hits. Most importantly, they held the reigning MVP without a touchdown 4 days after he scored 6 against Tampa. What does it say about Tampa? I don't know. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, they are both top 4 in the league in sacks. They're so good. Sting Lee didn't have a single catch on the night. Kalen Bullock had 2 picks and a forced fumble. This is the stuff of nightmares. Tried to tell you the Texans aren't out of this thing. In fact, they are so sexy right now, and I love them. And this is not only the best defense in the NFL, it's one of the best we've seen in the last 2 decades. I told you this yesterday. I warned you, Bills fans, here's what's coming. Huge shout out to DC Matt Burke. Thriving. Got the weapons to have his fun, though, too. Thriving since taking over defensive play calling after Houston's 0-3 start. This defense has now willed the team to a 3-0 record since C.J. Stroud's concussion. Credit to Davis Mills for holding it down. and don't want to short him. This has been legendary stuff, though, on the defensive side of the ball. I'm convinced not only that it's going to carry them and be enough to squeak them into the playoffs, but they're going to go further than that. They're not just going to squeak in. They're going to do some damage. They might go far because C.J. Stroud might get back and he's healthy and he's probably seeing the game a little differently, feeling himself. He's going to have that shot out of a cannon mentality. The AFC, as we know it, is wide open. As you'll see from Kevin Durant, he can't even pick a team he likes in the AFC because it's eeny, meeny, miny, mo out of them. And after the Bills yesterday, I might eeny, meeny, miny, mo myself more to the Patriots and more to the Chiefs than ever before. Super interesting. But if this is the defense we're getting week in, week out from them, and I think that it's going to happen. Let's take a look here. The Texans now a half game back of the Jags for the final wild card spot. Game back of the Bills and Chargers for the other 2 spots. Head-to-head tiebreakers over Buffalo and Jacksonville. And they get LA in week 17 with a chance to get that one as well. So these next 2 games at Indy, oof. At KC, oof. Critical games. Hamilton, Indy and the Texans, that's so freaking fun.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
That's going to be great. Oh, yeah. And then Houston's kind of had their number a little bit in recent years. That's going to be super, super interesting.
Wait, I actually love that. I love that. What does it say about Tampa?
I mean, Tampa's defense has been struggling. We talked about it a little bit in Obsidies yesterday. They've had their issues, but I think this says more about the Texans than it does about anybody else, including the Bills.
I don't know about that. We talked to Kevin before this game last night. Kevin, and I trust Kevin. Kevin's usually right about everything. Honestly, Kevin's really quite an analyst in the NFL. And he's like, I don't know about those Bucks. And the second he said it, I was like, he's probably right. So I don't like that. Should we talk about the unhinged, irrational Bills fans?
I think we have to.
Okay. Here's the deal, everyone. And I tweeted, I go, Joe Brady, because that first drive was great. Now, the Bills, let's deal with you for a second. The Bills can fall 3 games back of New England in their division if the Pats beat the Bengals, Joe Burrow, apparently, on Sunday. They would have to play at Indy if the playoffs started today. Okay, the Bills. I can't get on board with this, the horrendous, like, I'm embarrassed for these Joe Brady takes out here and these overreactions this morning. I'm embarrassed for you. Don't hit the button. Just have someone take the button, take it away from you. Maybe like Bills fans, when things aren't going your way, there should be some setting on X and on Instagram and Reddit and all these things that like keeps you from getting to publish what you're thinking in an emotional moment or something, because it's not a good hangover in the morning when I'm reading these with my morning coffee. Like, what were you thinking? They went up against a defense that is historically on fire, as I just laid out, right? They were shorthanded and they got beat. And I don't know what you wanted Joe Brady to do here. The 4th and 1 was a mistake. Sure, own that, fine. Outside of that, when you can't pass protect and you're missing key pieces, what was the move? I'd like you, smarty pantses, to tell me what's the move there. I'm seeing complaints about the screens, too many screens, short passing game, that's all he does. That's the only thing that's working. That is a strength on your team. Josh, 19 for 21 for 141 yards on those passes under 10 yards. 5 for 11, woof, 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 on the deeper stuff. 2 picks, 8 sacks, 8 times. Okay, 8 sacks when they tried to go downfield. So your short passing game, you better get on your knees and thank whoever you're thanking for that, okay? Whoever's above. Yeah, that's insane. There was whatever. There was that brilliant, by the way, 4th down call as well. And that came a few days after scoring 44 points. So what are we doing here complaining about Joe Brady? You can't, and by the way, not Josh Allen above reproach on any of his mistakes in this? Like, what is this? He's like, I don't understand what we're doing here. And I don't understand, like, you have good players, right? Like, what's happening? Hamilton, I didn't do a very good job of that. I just sucked at everything I just said. We shouldn't even post it. It wasn't good.
What do you mean?
I don't think we really got to it. The Joe Brady stuff, why does it irk you?
How so? For all the reasons that you just said. Because there wasn't much that they could do with the way the Texans defense was playing with that pass rush. The short stuff that he was calling that everybody was so mad about was the only thing that worked. They just scored 44 points. Yeah. They're missing Dalton Kincaid, which is a huge piece of this offense. Right. And they have to figure out that Keon Coleman situation, because however much, whatever issues there are with it, he has made big plays in moments for this team in these big games. And Josh made his mistakes in there too, so I don't know.
I hate this for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like, Josh Allen is this, performance. No, like, it's the whole. We can't love Josh Allen, and we hate the team or something, is what it feels like. Like, we have to be fans of the Bills as Bills fans more than of a single character. That's how I feel. And they do have injuries, and they need to get healthy. And you're totally right about that. And everything you're saying, it's sort of wild. Do we do we feel good about the Bills, Ham? That they will get healthy, they can fix their deep game? I mean, they had Gabe out there, they had Ty out there. We talked up Ty, given an opportunity. It's just his defense. It's more about the Texans than the Bills, huh?
I really do think so. And I think Dalton Kincaid, especially this year, he has blossomed into a primary threat, and he's been incredible for this team. I think that's a huge loss that we can't overestimate how big of a loss that is. I do think they'll be fine. Again, like, nobody's going to be fine against this Texans defense. That's kind of what it is. You got to do enough to keep you in the game, and you can't turn the ball over 3 times and expect to beat them.
And Josh Allen did say, absorbing 8 sacks, he said, I have to be better than that, which we love. He clearly is frustrated. Yeah. He wants to be better. He wants it to all work. Let's take a look at the rest of the Week 12 slate, because now it's so interesting, like we're talking about, and like you laid out for me here, with the Patriots and the 2 games back. If they get this win, that's amazing. In the past, by the way, 7-point faves down to 5.5-point faves after Joe Burrow practiced in full for a second straight day. I feel like this isn't a big enough story. I don't know. Should I be rooting for Joe Burrow to play, Kevin Durant. You'll get his thoughts in a minute here. Michael Jordan, a huge Bengals fan. I'd like his thoughts. The Saints faves for the second time this year by 1.5 points over the Falcons. Overlord showing some faith in Tyler Shuck after that battle with Kirk Cousins. And in the biggest game of the day, Chiefs 3.5-point fave over the Colts. Daniel Jones did pop up on the injury report yesterday. He had the bye week. He's got a calf thing. I know nothing, but something to keep an eye on there. That game, by the way, played in Kansas City, Missouri. And speaking of that beautiful state, FanDuel Sportsbook launching in Missouri. This is so exciting. It's happening on December 1st. And with that comes this offer. If you sign up before that December 1st launch in Missouri, you get a $400 bonus bet situation once you make your first $5 bet. So if you live in Kansas City, you live in St. Louis, you're hanging out with Jeremy Macklin at Kirkwood High School, you're in Como at Willie's doing whatever you want to do. Listen, anywhere else in Missouri, eating a toasted rab, pretending you like Emo's Pizza, you can sign up now and get your $400. That is as sweet a deal as you're going to get. From this to something even sweeter, it's time for Hammer Time. Yeah. Hamilton, I asked you on the call yesterday, what are you going to break down for us? You said Brock Purdy. We saw him back. We saw how important he was. And I feel like I didn't get the play on Twitter that it deserves. We are underreacting to what that means for this Niners team in the playoff push. Did something in the offense look a little different, better, elevated on the tape?
Yeah, it did. And it's really, and Mac Jones did a great job for this team, but it's Brock's instincts and his mastery of this offense that really shine through when you watch him back in there. And he does as good a job making checks and getting his offense into more favorable plays as any quarterback in this league. I truly believe that. And the way he's been able to adapt when things don't go according to plan is special too. So let's get into some of this tape and take a look at it. So we'll start with one of the George Kittle touchdowns. You'll see here he's under center. They send McCaffrey in motion. He knows right now that the Cardinals are in man coverage across the board. So what's he going to do? He's going to change this play to get George Kittle a tremendous one-on-one matchup. You'll see here he sends use check out wide at receiver. Kyle's just going to run a hitch here. That's just to keep that corner the heck out of the way so that George Kittle can operate. A little ISO Kevin Durant situation here. Kittle's going to run that slot fade, and he's matched up with a linebacker. All Brock has to do is look off the safety. You see that look to the left just keeps that safety on the hash and unable to get over the top of Kittle. And then that's just a perfect ball. He puts it in a beautiful spot. You'll see it again here on the replay. You can't throw it any better than that. And that is just mastery of an offense shining through right there. And this is the play you mentioned it that Eric Branch talked about that is just full freelancing. Kittle's running this cross. Pearsall's running a dig behind it. Brock's read here is the safety. He's supposed to throw to one of those two guys, and you'll see that's where his eyes are. He's watching the safety. But look what happens down here at the bottom. Kittle collisions that linebacker, so there's nobody to take McCaffrey. He's supposed to just run a check down here, but he sees that and goes to the flat instead. And watch, he's going to signal Brock like, hey, I'm open over here. Look at me. Find me. So Brock's able to come off his read, recognize that, and make the throw to Christian for the touchdown. And it's something that looks easy, but it's not. You have to adapt on the fly like that. And we had another shot there at the end, too, that I wanted to show. Christian's coming off the field, and he goes right to Brock, and he's pointing to his helmet.
Do we have it?
Hey, that was pretty damn smart, Brock. Thank you for here it is. Oh, it missed the beginning of it. But, yeah, he's pointing to his helmet. He's like, way to see me there, Brock. That's a heads-up play.
So they're finishing each other's sentences.
They really are, and that's what we're seeing out of this offense when Brock is back in there. The chemistry that he has with those guys, and again, his ability to just have that command at the line of scrimmage and change plays and get them into better plays. That's something, and it's not a slight against Mac Jones. It's just something that Brock does that not a lot of other quarterbacks do that well at that level.
What does it mean, you know? What does it mean? The Niners 7-point faves against a feisty little Carolina team, and that one's the Monday nighter. I'm actually very excited about that one. They're minus 600 to make the playoffs. They have a half-game lead for the wild card spot. They're 7th in odds to win the NFC at plus 1,800. We'll take a short break here and come back and talk about whether or not we think that that's a good play there. We'll be back after this on the Up and Adam Show. Tyrann Mathieu, Kevin Durant on the program. We will be back. Can I see the NFC odds, please? 18 plus 1,800. Ham, are you taking that?
I think right now, again, not that I expect them to win the NFC. I'm not saying like that, but that value compared to some of the other teams there, like right now, the way they're playing, I'd say I trust them more than Tampa. I'd say in big game situations, do you trust them more than Seattle with the way that Sam Darnold looked against the Rams? Do you trust them more than Green Bay? Like if we're trying to make a play here and take a shot on somebody, those are pretty nice odds. That is a pretty nice return there.
Gosh, I think they're going to lose to Carolina.
All right. We'll see.
I do. Another big game from Tataroa. I think they're going to lose. I think that's a game they're going to lose. I do. You'll see me. I said the Broncos were going to win.
Okay. We'll see.
I had to dunk on you at some point this week. You guys are about to see a Kevin Durant interview where the real story was Hamilton and Chris our intrepid Kevin Durant producer, trying to get me to understand the why setting a pick, letting Kevin go rogue, the shushing, the hand signals. I don't know what I'm talking about, even a little bit, but you've convinced me that it looks like I do. So you're about to see that.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Kevin's in a great mood. He's always in a great mood.
He always is.
He's happy. Yeah, he's a happy little clam on the #1 offense in the NBA. And they have Jokic tonight.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Did we leave that in the interview? The stuff about Jokic? Probably not, right? Did we leave that in?
I can't remember.
I almost hope we didn't, but if we did, oh well.
Yeah.
Jokic, best player in the NBA, apparently. Not my best player in the NBA, but the best player in the NBA, apparently.
Having an even better year than his MVP years right now.
And he has 3, right?
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to really like him, but too many people like him for me to like him.
Yeah. You need more of an alt choice. Yeah.
I want to interview him, obviously.
That would be something. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like it's all, some of these like viral bites from him that exist it's so obvious, respectfully, that like it's not going to land. He's not going to care. Welcome back to the show. Time for some K-Makers. This is where I tell you who's going to score touchdowns on Sunday and on Monday. Who could that outline be? Who could that pop be? David Montgomery. Now I know scoring, he's not doing that as much as we're used to lately, but I do think he gets some big opportunities. I will be in the building. I will be manifesting this for David Montgomery, friend of the show. This is a Giants defense that is historically bad, though Scatabo told some neon person who in the back of a truck or something the other day that he's got the best defense the Giants do. Your run defense, not so great, Scattaboo, but I like the team pride here. Next, give me A.J. Brown against the Cowboys. A.J. get a touchdown. Dallas has allowed the most touchdowns to the receiver spot this season, so this is a very A.J.-ish game. And also, give me Kenneth Walker. Always a headache with him and Charbonnet. Plus 135, too juicy to pass up against the Titans defense that's given up the second most rushing touchdowns this season. So there you have it, my K-Makers. David Montgomery, plus 100. A.J. Brown at Cowboys, big one, at plus 135. And then Kenneth Walker at Titans. I love that one with those odds as well. Now, we got to get Kevin Durant's picks for this week. I haven't talked to him since the season is started. Now, they're crushing it, of course, with the Houston Rockets. His new home there, they're doing really well, and he's having these fun games, and always lots to talk about with him when it comes to the NFL. Who does he like? Who does he not like? What's his temp check on teams like the Patriots and the Bills? And we had a lot of fun there, too. Steph Curry, his next brand move, boardroom taking over. It's all right here with Kevin Durant. Kevin, I haven't talked to you in a long time. And now you're the #1 scoring offense in the NBA. You're on a 5-game win streak. What are the vibes? How are you feeling?
Feeling good. We starting off, it's probably, a month into the season. So routines are there, rhythm is there. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
I love watching. I'm very excited about everything you got going on. This 30-minute sit-down with Cade Cunningham, I could not have been more excited to watch this. It's the November cover story over on Boardroom. What was that like?
Oh, you checked it out?
Yeah.
It was fun. That was my first time interviewing someone. I thought that would be easier because we do the same. We're both basketball players and we understand each other. So it was fun. Cade is one of my favorite players and to watch. One of my favorite, people to be around. So it was an organic conversation. I want to do more of that actually.
I feel like you could take down a bit of an industry by doing that. I mean, you've done a million interviews over the years. You're sitting
Yeah.
there. It wasn't a couple of questions. It was in depth. You got great, honest, genuine bites out of him. What did you learn about sort of switching to the other side of that role?
I learned uh, first off, how tough it is to hold a conversation like that and continue to, think of questions and stand on things that they're saying. And sometimes you got to just shut up and listen. So it's a lot of nuances involved. And um, I appreciate that dynamic where people can uh, get the most out of somebody, So I felt like Cade kind of relaxed out there and spoke from the heart and, was genuine with what he was saying. So it was fun. It was fun. It was informative too. I learned a lot about him, which was cool. Some stuff he never, told the rest of the basketball world. So it was fun.
When you broke the news about Cade's signature shoe with Nike, why was it so exciting for you?
Man, because that's just having a signature shoe is just such a huge deal, man. It's like, I tell art, it's like dropping an album. It's like something that's going to always be in the universe, something that you can always go back to and then remind people of who you are. It's your legacy, and a tangible thing, So it's pretty cool to have that around. So when you get to experience that, it's very few people in the history of the NBA that have a signature shoe. So to be a part of that group, I get excited when I see people who step into that level of stardom. It's fun. It's been a journey thus far for me, so I know it'll be fun for these new guys.
Watch out now, KD, because breaking news is addictive.
I mean, I wouldn't say breaking news is addictive, but
yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Don't lie. It's fun.
Having conversation with NBA players is probably the more addicting thing for me.
Got it. How worried should Shams be?
He shouldn't be worried at all. Shams is the greatest of all time. I can't compete with that. Nobody can.
I feel like you could. I feel like you could.
No.
You could really take. You could just cut it out. Cut out the middleman. Break the news.
I seen Shams screen time. I don't think I want that type of action.
Yeah, that's fair. That's really fair. Now that you're breaking news, where's Steph taking his marketing talents? I heard Nike's on the table.
That would be incredible. I hope that happens.
Yeah,
he should. No disrespect to Under Armour, he should have always been a Nike athlete, but he built his brand, and this is an exciting time for him to be able to choose and to have people out there that still want your services at 37. You can just tell his legacy and his brand is intact. So he's a free agent, and it feels like he's still a rookie. You know what I'm saying? That's
who's
cool.
on the interview wish list for Kevin Durant? The long form 30-minute.
Michael Jordan.
I would, just so you know, if they came to me and they said, "Hey, Tariq's sick. Can you interview Michael Jordan?" I might say no.
Oh my gosh.
I think I might say no.
Why?
I think I'd be too scared.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like,
I'd be too scared.
Yeah, he has so much aura. The new word nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, and he could say anything, and it just sounds perfect.
What would you ask him?
I would ask him, does he watch? What players does he watch in the league today? What does he think about the style of play compared to the style of play in his era? I'll ask him about like the difference in sports medicine back then, like in the 90s, treatment and all that stuff, and recovery methods and all of that. How it was back then and then compared to how we do it today. I got so many questions I ask. Like, man, I could go on and on.
I think we need to make it. He needs to be the 2026 boardroom star. Look how smiley you are just talking about this.
I mean, that's the GOAT, man. That's just the perfect basketball player, perfect businessman. Like, he just taught everybody how to be great on the court and also how to maximize what you do off the floor too. Like, He was perfect, man. And when it comes to basketball,
What if he said, okay, I'll come do that interview and I'll like whatever. You have to come down here and play 36 holes of golf with me. Would you?
I'm playing 96.
Do you golf?
No, but I'll figure it out.
What was this? What's happening? I think you did a great. I've never seen you wear your hat backwards. Here you are. You're crushing it. I love this. Want to talk some NFL?
Oh yeah, why not?
Joe Burrow, your boy, my boy, back at practice, slated to play. Your thoughts?
I did not know that. See, when I'm playing and when we in the thick of the season, it's kind of hard to keep up with the.
You should hang out with you. I got you.
So I'm glad I'm here. I didn't know that.
He's back at practice in full, targeting a Thanksgiving return. Rumors he might even play this weekend. They've got the Patriots at Ravens, at Bills, and Ravens.
That's
so Ravens
cool.
Twice. Do you believe in a Bengals miracle?
I'm just happy Joe Burrow back. I don't give a damn. I just want to see him behind the center getting and throwing a touchdown to Jamar Chase. I just want to see him out there, man. If they win, they win.
Well, who would you like to say wins the AFC? Because it's wide open. What about the Chiefs?
I mean, you can't ever count them out, but it's just like, are they gonna really win the AFC?
It doesn't feel like it. Give me the vibe, the temperature check on Kevin Durant and the Kansas City Chiefs.
I just feel like they are not like above the pack anymore, but they still can win every game. But they're just not like just going. It's not a guaranteed win like it used to be. I felt, and it's not a bad thing that it's not guaranteed. It's just like I was going into games knowing that the Chiefs were going to win every time.
Yeah.
And it felt like they can go undefeated the whole season. I don't have that feeling no more. And that's not, I mean, from undefeated to still being a contender is not a bad thing.
They might miss the playoffs, Kevin.
I don't see that.
You think they'll make the playoffs?
I think they make the playoffs. I just feel like when you're so successful for such a long time, like, I mean, sometimes that continuity is the reason why you're that good, but sometimes you might need to switch it up and adapt along the way. And for the most part, like they kept the same guys around, and you got years and years of film and tape on how to stop these dudes, and everybody's getting up for them. And so I just think that around the league has gotten better, and they've continued to be consistent. And with that consistency and just familiarity with around the league with them. So, teams is playing harder, playing better, understand what they bring to the table too. So maybe Chiefs just need to lock in a little bit more towards the end of the season. Maybe this is good for them to go through this little adversity and lock back in. It usually happens for them like that.
How about the Bills?
Dang. But they were going to run through the league. What did you want me
to ask you today?
I will put them around that same level.
Do you want me to ask you about that kid trying to set that pick for you and you saying, no, I want to do it all myself? That was crazy, Kevin.
That's normal.
No, is it?
Yes, that happens so much in the game.
I don't understand why, like... It's so funny to watch you in these moments. Like, what do you mean normal? Why didn't he know better? Even I would know to get out of your way. I
mean, that's just part of the offense, run up there and set screens. But, so he just running offense.
So if he's doing that, why are you shushing him?
Because I bucked the offense and went rogue. And they don't coach their mind. I went rogue. That wasn't his fault. I went rogue.
So what's the lesson in that? Like, what's he supposed to, like, what happens? What is this? Are you on a yacht slide? Is this are you in the middle of the Mediterranean? What are we doing?
I'm saying, once I go rogue like that, I said we're a new team. This is our first 15 games with each other.
Yeah.
They ain't ever seen me go rogue that often. I do something. I go rogue.
I was going to say, Kevin, I see you go rogue.
But at the end of the game, I kind of, in that moment, like, he was like, all right, I got it now. Okay, gonna just take him off the dribble. So, like, he did it now.
It worked.
And there's times where he just be like, I got it. And I'll be sitting over there like, yeah, go get it. That's just part of normal, man. That's what we do.
So the communication is still, it's happening.
That's a call.
This?
That's a set. Like, all right, just get out of here. I'm gonna take him.
Can we talk about your Commanders quickly?
No.
The thing that freaks me out is I think that Jaden's going to have this injury-prone label with these just in the offseason. Just the offseason, I can just tell it's going to be can't stay healthy because of his frame, blah, blah, blah. I hate that.
People are ignorant.
Yeah.
People don't know nothing about the human body and how it operates in a football setting. We want to call somebody injury prone. Like I just think the labels are just you know lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a contact sport. These dudes get hit. They playing faster. Like he using his legs more. He gonna get touched up.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? It should be more so about, all right, we understand that injury's been a part of the game for 100 years. All right, let's worry about how these players are when they come back from injury. Now, that's when you can start critiquing.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Is this guy the same player? Does he have the same confidence? Is he thinking the same when he comes back from injury? That's more of a story than just labeling somebody something.
I agree. I see it like from my lens of I know what's gonna happen. Is this going to be an off season of like that being the narrative? I think it's good that you're kind of getting ahead of it, that it's bullshit, which it is. I'm going to be at the Cowboys Commanders game on Christmas. You're playing that night too against the Lakers in LA.
Yeah.
So you get to be home-ish for Christmas. Yeah, you hang out here sometimes in LA. I will be at Northwest Field, and I'll probably be in the DMV in Landover for a couple of days before. What should be on my to-do list? What's on my itinerary? Where should I go?
That part of town you in, I will.
What? What is that face? What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, it's just not a place to just walk around and just explore, like around the stadium, like Landover.
Just anywhere. I'll be like in that area. I can go anywhere for a couple of days. What would you say?
If you're saying in DC, just roam around, like just roam around Georgetown, like
Okay.
go get you some coffee, just like take in the blossom, the trees, like it's just go see the monuments. It's a lot of history, man.
Go see the monuments. There's nothing in PG County to go see.
Yeah, it's PG County is beautiful, but I just think I gotta be the one to really, you know what I'm saying?
I got to walk around with you.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of autographs happening.
No, it's gonna be a lot of.
Oh no, you just get to walk around. Nothing happens to you.
Nothing. Everybody feel like I'm their cousin, so it's like just hugs and love. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's get to your picks for the FanDuel people who want gifts from you, Kevin. The Chiefs favored at home, 8-2 Colts. Who you got?
Woo, it's a big game for both of them. I'm going with the Chiefs, though.
Okay, Packers big faves at home against the Vikings. Who do you like in this one?
Packers.
The Eagles favored in Jerry World against the Cowboys. Who wins and why?
Eagles, man, just a better football team.
Are you in on you like the Cowboys a little bit? You think they have a chance?
I just think they got talent.
Yeah, George Pickens looks amazing.
Yeah.
And then this one has big playoff implications. Bucks, big underdogs going to LA to take on the Rams.
Bucks need to step it up a little bit. They've been sliding a bit.
I know. It's not great. What's going on with you hoops-wise? What do I need to know? I know you play the man who likes the horses on Friday. That big guy.
Nikola?
Yeah.
Jokic?
Like, what is it like? He just seems like such a character in all of his interviews and stuff. What is that like in real life?
I don't know him well enough to speak for, on how he is.
Yeah.
He seemed like a really reserved and laid back dude. Like,
I love that.
He got a soft tone. He don't really speak loud at all. But then I've seen the aggressive side of him too on the court. So I just respect the game. I respect a lot about his approach. You could tell he was inspired a lot by American players too.
I can't wait to watch this game.
Yeah, I'm excited about playing against them.
Thanks for popping by the show. You're the best.
I appreciate you. Good to see you.
It is intercepted. It's Tyrann Mathieu. What a difference maker he could be as well for this defense.
This guy is so good. Tyrann Mathieu, look at him.
I'm the biggest dog in the yard. 1, 2, it's Miles.
Oh, and just a savvy play by Mathieu being able to cover.
Here he is, three-time All-Pro safety. Gosh, they didn't even let me introduce you properly. Just popped you on the screen, as you deserve. You are the co-host of In the Bayou with Tyrann Mathieu. And we kicked it off from Sao Paulo to Thanksgiving, Baltimore. What are the vibes for Madden?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I see I got the rust out, got the little cobwebs out, so I'm looking forward to it.
What, are you a Madden guy? Do you play? Tell me more about that.
I mean, I'm not a big gamer. Obviously, I got sons, 13 and 12, so they all into it. So sometimes I have no choice but to give in and play a little bit.
I love that. It's going to be the Bengals at the Ravens in a big game because it looks like Joe's going to play. Let's get into this. Joe, a full participant in practice for the second straight day. You and I will be there as part of the Madden takeover of this game with boosting people's ratings. Me and Ocho will be there freezing our butts off. In Baltimore, you, Ben Kurt, Paul Burmeister on the Peacock side of things for this amazing cast that we get to be a part of. It's so fun. And it's positive. We get to help guys out with their Madden rating, which everybody loves. So Joe's back at practice, Tyrann, for a second straight day. He seems ready to return. The team is 3-7. In your eyes, do we like that he's coming back? What's the vibe?
I mean, I get it. That's Joe Burrow, and obviously, man, he's a solid dude, a guy of great character, and I think he wants to earn his money. But if I'm the organization, I'm looking at this season and I'm saying, man, it didn't go our way. Joe already got hurt. Right? Do we want to risk that again? And then, too, I look at that Bengals team, and they still a couple of players away. So, if I was them, I'd be trying to, get me a top 10 draft pick or, something along those lines so I can get, some better players around Joe. But, man, Joe's a competitor, so I can't see him not, playing if he's healthy enough to play.
Last night, I'm watching this game, watching Stingley do his thing, right? And he did not allow one single catch. What makes you giggle about that?
I mean, that's DBU. That's DBU, and especially Stingley, man. Because he didn't have it easy. When he first came in the league, he struggled a bit, and so to kind of see him, take his place amongst some of the best cornerbacks in the game, man. Very very reminiscent of Patrick Peterson and my old Arizona Cardinals days.
Peacock streaming the EA Sports Madden NFL cast on Thanksgiving. You'll be part of that. So if you could pick one DB to control for a full game right now, who would that be?
I mean, it has to be Kyle Hamilton, right?
So good.
He reminds me so much of myself, man. Although he's 6'3", and he got all the physical attributes, but yeah, man, he's a guy you can put all over the field. He can play at all three levels. Obviously he could come off the edge blitzing. I think last week he got a sack right up the middle. So definitely he's a guy that can tackle and cover too. So he'll be the guy. He'll be my X factor.
He's only a 92. Are you going to talk to Chad about that on Thanksgiving? Come on, 92.
Yeah, man. I think that's a little low for him. I think he's at least a 94, 95.
He had a kick in the game. He kicked the ball after the game last week. He's such a Destructicon, and I love it. Did you watch last night's game at all?
I did not.
Okay, so I can tell you the tale of what happened. This Texans defense did its thing, and were super, super amazing. Bills fans calling out the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, this morning. It's still a top 5 offense in the league. What do you make? What is your temp check on the Buffalo Bills this season?
Man, to be honest, man, it seemed like they're a really good team. They're well coached, but I guess they kind of get in these moments, especially against really good teams, and they're just not quite able to put it off late. I think the thing with me, man, is the Bills. I think Josh Allen, he's a great player. I think he's at times, man, he's just so reckless. Like he's always trying to make a play, and sometimes it results in negative plays. Sometimes it results in fumbles. Now you're getting your team behind the sticks, turnovers. I think if he was to play just a little bit more careful, man, I think the Bills will be all right going forward.
This is not going to go over well on Twitter because I feel like Josh Allen cannot be criticized. That's I don't know. You calling him reckless and it being, but I mean, how do you even minimize that, or is that just a part of his game that you take? He had 2 picks last night. He got sacked 8 times. He said, "I have to be better," but it does always seem like it's about Joe Brady. It's about it's about everything. But maybe him. I don't think that's coming from him. I think he's saying, "I know I need to be better." But I mean, he lost 70 yards in sacks yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is the football,
Yeah.
and if you're giving it to the other team, are you putting your own offense behind the sticks? You're only making life harder, and tougher, on the guys around you. So, obviously, man, he's an MVP talent, and he's great, right? I played with Patrick Mahomes, right, and he'll run around all day until he finds something open, and so we have to live and we have to die with that.
I feel like this wasn't happening as much last year when he won the MVP, but they might figure it out. But we should give love to the Texans because this was a great night for your former squad. They're 6-5. They're a half game out of the playoffs, a half game, Tyrann. How much postseason stock are you buying in Houston right now? C.J. Stroud should come back. Doesn't know for sure, but could be next week.
I mean, I don't know. I hope they get in, man, because the way they play defense is the way that you want to be able to play defense. And, the thing I like the most, man, is, this team has had some issues this season, obviously staying healthy, but, they have a defensive-minded head coach, right? And that's what you want to see. Like, even when your teams aren't winning or aren't playing as good as you think they could play, are you doing the things well that you do well? And so those guys have been playing great defense, and I think that's giving this team, some life, going forward, especially in the back half of the season.
3-0 with a backup quarterback. Not too shabby. He's got to do something for the confidence of that team, too.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, shout out to Davis Mills. We see if they get in. I brought you here today, not just to talk about Madden, Tyrann. I don't even know. Do I ask you how to fix the Chiefs? Do I ask you to tell me the Chiefs aren't broken? Can you give me your feeling on your Kansas City Chiefs?
I mean, my gut feeling is that, those guys will figure it out. I mean, they always do. And so, obviously, man, like they've never lost this many games at this time of the season. But, I trust 15. I trust Mahomes, and I trust Coach Reed, and I trust Spags, too. And I think, once all three of those guys get back on the same this wavelength, I think this team is still tough to beat. Like, every team that's playing them is going into the game with their very best game plan. And so I think the Chiefs they got to realize that they're still kind of top dog, even though they didn't win it last year. Teams are still gunning for them.
There's an article I saw, this headline, that Andy, the game's passing him by, and Andy should retire. What would you like to say?
I mean, you see a lot of foolish and ignorant things, all over the internet nowadays. Man, Coach Reed, man, actually, I was just in KC maybe a couple weeks ago, and Coach Reed, him and his grandson plays on my son's football team.
Okay.
And so,
cool.
I say all that to say, man, like that dude still moves around, like he's still living his best life. And I mean, the idea of him not, just being up to par, I mean, that's crazy. I don't. Who said that?
I don't know. It was some terrible. Of course, leave it to Kansas City to try to run out the greatest coach of all time out of their city before all is said and done. But I will say, I want you to, I would love to know why it's not working. Help me. You're the smartest guy I know. These one-score games, they were winning. They're not winning them. Are we saying that they can't, get up for these regular season games anymore? Are we saying, what is not working? It does not feel right. Even me, who, I have faith in 15, but without saying I trust that they'll figure it out, how are they going to figure it out? Why are you laughing?
At the end of the day, it comes down to players making plays, right? And, I know Patrick feels the same, right? It's a lot of throws that he's making that he's accustomed to making in the past that he just isn't making now. And so, if he's able to kind of make those plays, a lot of these games is a different game, and obviously, Kelsey, he's getting up in age and he's usually, he was, right, that clutch player for them, right? You can count on him, especially in the fourth quarter and critical situations. And, they just got to find a way. They got to find a way to, continue to put their best players in positions to make plays and not just relying on Patrick to, figure it out.
I mean, they're still a top 5 defense. I don't know that they look like it. I hope Spags and them can figure it out. Mahomes said that defenses are playing more man coverage against them, which we're all seeing, but they haven't been able to capitalize on deep shots. From your perspective, what is holding them back from landing those, from exploiting those downfield opportunities?
I think it's just timing. I think it's timing. And this receiver group, in particular, I mean, what do they probably play 4 or 5 games together in total? And so, it's kind of still an experiment, And so I think those guys need to find a way to step up and kind of carve their role out as well, because, 4 or 5 years ago, it was absolutely, no discussion on who was the deep threat on the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And it was Tyreek Hill. And so I think between Wordy and obviously Hollywood Brown, I think those guys need to just kind of step it up a little bit, as far as, just doing what they're good at. Those guys can run, let them run.
Still building chemistry in week 12. That's not going to land well on Twitter. But it's a good point. Like they've been in and out. It's true.
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't been able to develop. So does that mean they can? If we take a look at maybe even just the Super Bowl odds or whatever the control wants to whip up here, maybe just the AFC, the West, obviously, I think impossible at this point. They're like 4 games back of the team they just lost to. Do we like them for a Super Bowl winner? How much confidence do you have?
Oh, man, I tell you, man, at this point, I'd just be happy, if those guys were kind of able to punch a ticket, in the playoffs. I think that, the AFC West in particular, between the Chargers and the Broncos, like these teams are they're really drafting and scheming to beat the Chiefs. And so I guess they kind of won the early battle, but, it's still some season left. And, nevertheless, man, if the Chiefs were to get in the playoffs, they'll still be a very, very dangerous team.
And it gives all this opportunity for these other teams that must feel psyched, right? Like they're like watching the team that haunted them, the scary team, the one that we always feel like we'll figure it out. Like that must do things to the Bills, to even like the Texans, like we're talking about, and even the Patriots who are crushing. Are you in on Drake May? What do you make of him?
I like Drake May. I like Drake May. Well, I like how he stands in the pocket. I like that he pushes the ball down the field. And he seems to have a rapport, with those receivers, between Pop Douglas and, obviously Stephon Diggs. I mean, he's throwing, even my guy from LSU, Keyshawn, right? Like these guys are making big time plays, man, down the field. And that's exciting for a young quarterback, man, knowing that, I got 3 or 4 guys out there that I could throw up these balls to, and they're going to come down with most of them. So I'm excited about him, and I'm more excited about his head coach as well. Like, I just think that's just like such a perfect marriage between Vrabel and all those guys that he brought in on his staff as well.
What's impressing you in the NFL right now? You're seeing those MVP odds. Matthew Stafford's on there. He's certainly popping. But on defense, offense, you mentioned Kyle Hamilton. It doesn't have to be on this list, but tell me something in the NFL that is impressing you.
Right now, I mean, it had to be Jonathan Taylor. I mean, that's like, he gives me like LaDainian Tomlinson vibes, like Sean Alexander vibes, right? Like, man, you could just book him for 20 touchdowns and 1,700 yards. I love the way he plays the game, and I love how that team just kind of puts it on his back, in crunch time, and he's been able to deliver for him. But I think the type of season he's having, along with, obviously Josh Allen and Mahomes not having the greatest season, this might be his chance to really cement himself for an MVP. So hopefully he could bring it back to the running back's position. Chiefs
-3.5 against the Colts. Can Spags stop Jonathan Taylor?
Oh, man.
You walked into that one.
That's tough. That's tough. I tell you, because when I was with the Chiefs, right, we weren't really a great run defense. And it seems as of late, they've become a really, really good run defense.
Stop Saquon in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and so I trust Spags. I think he probably haven't slept, all week, just thinking about it. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun challenge. It's definitely gonna be a fun challenge.
When you saw Andy, did you get the sense from him like, we're fine, we'll figure it out?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I see Coach Reed, man, like I think he kind of offers some sense of like stability, and so yeah, like I'm never like second guessing that guy. Like things happen sometimes. Like every season isn't gonna go the way you work for, especially in the off season, right? Like things happen and it doesn't go your way sometimes. So yeah, but I'm not like down and out like on the Chiefs because I know at the end of the day they have what a lot of teams don't have. They have a great quarterback, they have a great offensive mind. Right, and they have a great defensive mind.
Yes,
and
but that's
so
what's
for
so
me,
frustrating because you're talking about them punching it. You'd be happy if they punched a ticket. You said that, and my heart dropped. Like,
yeah,
right?
I mean, just because it's a tough division, right?
Yeah.
Like, and the Broncos and Chargers, for the most part, they've handled their business, you know. So they definitely made it a little harder on the Chiefs, but yeah, like I can't ever like I got this Super Bowl ring like over there. Like I can't, like I can never bet against them, you know?
Of course. Tyrann, you launched a new podcast this week. What? Congratulations to you.
Yeah,
you addressed
thank
the
you.
LSU head coaching opening in episode 1, which we love. And you can get new episodes every Tuesday. It's you and like your best friend, your lifelong friend. It's not just about sports, it's life, it's culture. And it's very, I understand, like New Orleans perspective. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, that's the idea of, you know, just kind of taking people back down to the South. And, you know, I know everybody had different experiences. But yeah, I mean, it's with one of my childhood best friends, you know, a guy that I've been knowing for, you know, 20 plus years. And so, but it's all Louisiana, right? Like we're trying to highlight community. We're trying to highlight culture, you know, obviously talk about football and you know, LSU and the Saints and the Pelicans and everything, right? So we're just trying to bring people into like our everyday conversation. And hoping people could kind of gravitate to it and hoping a lot of these kids are inspired by it, really.
And I want to hear, maybe you'll get some behind the scenes of the Madden situation because you'll be all over that broadcast from the studio. It's EA Sports Madden NFL Cast for Bengals Ravens. It's streaming exclusively on Peacock. I'll be there with Ocho Cinco. Do you have any advice for me? How do I like keep Ocho Cinco, you know, off the field? How do I keep him off the field?
I mean, that's a challenge in itself, you know. So look, just let him do his thing and you do your thing.
No.
Don't even worry about it.
As the great defensive player you are, how can I like, you know, well, how could I attack him from an X's and O's perspective to get him to like not be sitting on the bench next to, you know, John Harbaugh?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for him, man, like he's a competitor, so you know, you could find something to compete with him against. You know, he's gonna run to it.
I know it. Okay, I will see you then next Thursday. I don't know when you're spending your Thanksgiving with your family, but I know it'll be great. Congrats on the podcast, and we will see you on Madden NFL Cast on Peacock.
Thanks, Kate. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good luck to those Chiefs. I don't know if I feel better. I don't know if I feel Hamilton. I don't know if I feel more like convinced. I don't know. I felt like a lot of faith coming out of Tyrann Mathieu, but he also said make the play once they're in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There is that. That's the worry. Right? Like I'm more concerned about them not getting in. Like if they get in, I feel like they can turn it on and
for sure.
But the path is so friggin' hard right now.
They waited too long. Yeah.
And I do feel like
Colts.
yeah.
They're going to stop.
What he said about
He's
it.
going to stop. Like, is Daniel Jones with this injury now going to be able to, like, is he going to ruin everything in the perception of the world of what he did because, like, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? What does he have, a calf?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a calf.
Welcome back to the show. We have a minute left. Hamilton, why don't you join me for this minute? Big thanks to Kevin Durant for joining the show. Big thanks to all of our guests. Yeah, I'll be on that broadcast. We should talk more Madden with him. I think we get Chad on the show Monday.
Yeah, Chad will be here Monday.
Let's make that very Madden heavy. I want to get into it, the ins and outs. How did he get this job? Where he gets to be the adjuster. All of the
I feel
power.
like he just like campaigned for it, and they're like, "Sure, here you go."
Yeah.
Like, to my recollection, I feel like that's how it went.
No idea. He got to do it. I'm learning Madden as I go. I get to interview a big guest on Monday for that broadcast on Peacock. So excited, and so excited that Ocho's going to join us. Kurt, friend of the show, hasn't been around in a couple seasons. He's doing his thing. He'll be part of that as well. He's not. I think he's coming on the show though. But we will have Ocho on Monday. Good luck, guys. Go to FanDuel Sportsbook. Get those K-makers in. Those odd cities are crushing. We will see you guys. And Brock Purdy better not make you look stupid.